Hi, my name is Song from SongThatWomanOverThere. First of all, thank you so much to my client for allowing me to share this time with you. Here's a little bit of a backstory. In the alternate lifetime, a man took her daughter from her. It was devastating. We discovered that the lessons that needed to be learned at that point in time were not learned, so they were carried forward to her current lifetime. Through careful visualizations, turning ideas, and conversations, we were able to shift the perspective to learn the reasons why that man had taken her daughter and why the lessons needed to play out in this current lifetime. Strategically, we shifted the scene so that after the man initially took her daughter, he released her so that she could return back to her mother, who was beautifully named Sky in that alternate life. The shift was a better outcome for all three that were present, as forgiveness was given and received for all of them. They finally understood each of their roles and why they were in each other's lives today. As you might notice, we have already completed the first half of the Soul Center Healing Hypnosis session, and we shifted to speaking with the higher self about the heart wall that was discussed in the pre-session chat. She intuitively thought that she had a heart wall, and in our pre-session chat we determined that there was something there for us to examine. So in this part of the session, we begin the process of finding out what is surrounding her heart. We move into healing and halting some genetic codes that came from her mother that were not serving her or her family anymore. The recording starts where we're about to examine the heart wall, and I needed to get her to recognize that there might be a deviation to how she felt at the beginning of the session compared to now because of the shifts that happened in the first hour of the session. So we're still gaining the information from the alternate lifetime prior to this part, which is why I've shared a little bit of the backstory here. If you would like to book a session with me, please head over to my website, again, SongThatWomanOverThere, and send me an email through there. Thank you so much. I look forward to hearing from you and helping you heal. Let's focus on your body as it lay here on the bed again. This time, instead of a scan, I'm going to get you to zoom into your heart. I tell her that I want her to imagine being inside of her physical heart. See it, see all of the blood moving around, see all of the cells moving, vibrating, re-energizing, multiplying, and dying off, because that is what they do. It comes full circle within here. As you are in the heart, I tell her that I want her to notice if there is anything that needs her attention or our attention. I ask her what's the first thing that comes to mind. And she says, it's this heart wall type thing, or this blockage from being able to move to love my partner compassionately like I can with my kids and my dogs. And I also needed to point out to her that while she was in there, she needs to notice if anything has shifted since we visited that alternate lifetime. And she says, I do feel like I need to just appreciate him for who he is and let him be, and not to do what my mother does to me, basically. She says I need to kind of notice the things that he's doing right more. So I ask her to refocus back into her heart. I wanted her to be aware of the things that might shift or might be shifted now, and the way that she is looking at things might be altered. So I said, while you're in your heart, I want you to imagine what this wall looks like that is surrounding her heart. I don't know what's going on with my voice. I'm just going to keep reading because it's going to do this anyway. So she says, I'm getting a visual of this like spiky like type thing. She says, you can't come close to me because of the spikes. So I ask her, what is it made out of and how big is it? She tells me that it's metal. And she says, it's thick. I guess it goes beyond me. Yeah, it's very big, she says. It goes well beyond. And she gestures with her hands outward from her chest, like it's expanding well beyond her heart. And it's like probably miles, and it's kind of like a fortress type situation where, and I can see that she's just astonished with what she's finding here. And then she says, yeah, I don't really know how to let the love in. Maybe this critical nature that comes out of me is a way to push it back out even further. Yeah. And so I ask her, no, I didn't ask her anything. Sorry. I say, okay, I think I see it. I say, even though you live over there, it's so big that I can feel it here. And that's because energy doesn't have boundaries. There's nothing that limits it. And we have a giggle about that. So I ask her to notice that even though it is so huge and wrapped around her, that there has to be entrances and exits. There has to be, because she is in her heart. So I say to her, how does the blood get from one part of your body to the other if it doesn't have an opening? And then I tell her that I want her to find that door, find that opening. And then I ask her, what does it look like? She says, I'm seeing a little brown wooden door in my heart. It's a small opening. And I tell her, I imagine that it would be small so that nobody can enter at will. I said, that's good. You've done a very good job of protecting your heart. We've learned some valuable lessons today. Lessons that are going to help us move forward with life, in life. At this moment, I asked if it would be all right if somebody came in to the heart wall and we found resistance. So in order to move forward, we had to take down the barrier that was resistance and figure out why it was there to begin with. In my sessions, we create downloads to assist us so that we know how to feel certain emotions. As you continue to listen, you'll hear that the heart wall will shift and be transformed. It'll be different after we go through the download. I'm going to keep the download in here so that you can listen to it. If you know how to go up to the Creator of all that is, then you'll be able to do this for yourself as well. And if you would like to receive the information through me, please contact me so that I can help you as well. On to the next part of this session. Creator of all that is, it is commanded that we download what it feels like to allow change without feeling resistance about the process of letting go, knowing that even though change is hard from this day forward, it will come with ease, so easily that it surprises us and leaves us asking, why didn't we do this sooner? Download this now. Let me take a deep breath. Allow our bodies to synchronize with the download. And I ask, how was that? She says, that feels good and hopeful and correct. I say, that's good, beautiful. And I remind her, I tell her that that one felt like it was on the mark. And she says, good, yes. I ask her to bring her awareness back to her heart wall. And then I ask if it's still the same. And she says, no. I said, tell me, how did it transform? She says, I feel just like I'm not feeling the big metal thing out there. I'm just feeling this right here. And she's tapping her chest. Just this softness, she says, as she's holding her chest area. And I say, wow, I am so happy for you. Because she doesn't feel like she's blocking anything out with this big fortress anymore. It's just such a beautiful transformation. And she says, yeah, it doesn't feel like, like it's just right here as opposed to, and she again, she gestures with her hands that it's out there, it's so far away from her. I ask her to bring her attention back into the center of her heart, because I want her to look from the inside of her heart out again and see what she senses and feels. So I tell her to let me know what she sees and what she senses in there now that we've made this shift. And she gets emotional. You can hear the shift in her voice. She says, I feel like possibility and gratitude. She says possibility for things to be different and for things to shift this pattern. And I feel like the future looks bright. I tell her that I want her to take a snapshot of these feelings, of this visualization, and hold it within her. Take a little video of the progression of how things are or how they will progress. I ask her if she see the things changing, like in the video that I'm asking her to create for herself. See how she has changed things. The gratitude that she has for things will begin to be different. I want her to hold that in her mind from this day forward. And then I tell her that she can call on these images in this little video at any point in time to remind her that things are different now, and that she is growing, that she is expanding, and that she can let go with ease. And I remind her that she is grateful and wonderful. We talk a little bit more about it, and then we needed to find out about the scarcity mindset that she has, which, a lot of us have this scarcity mindset. So we drift into another area of her mind. We just elevate ourselves again. And I ask, how do we let go of the scarcity mindset? And she replies, or her higher self replies, have faith that there is enough. There will always be enough. You have more than enough. So again, I ask for a visualization of what she would look like, knowing fully that there is enough. Because a lot of times we can say, yes, I have enough. But what do I look like, completely knowing that there is enough? It's often the question that I like to get people to see in these sessions. And she says, yes, the visualization is me in my life right now, and I have a beautiful life. I have to fully embrace the life that I have and everything I have, to let go of the doubt. Just have faith that I have always been provided for, and I always will be. And I remind her that she needs to bring in confidence as well. The confidence in knowing that you have everything that you need. And I ask the higher self if going through the alternate lifetime that we did today has healed the trauma that she's gone through, or the issues that she has gone through with her own mother. And she says, I get the sense that things will get easier, that it's not like poof, everything is gone, but that things will be lighter and she'll have more strength in navigating. And I ask if that was because of the different perspective, that she now has a different perspective on life because she's gone through how her life was before this session. And now that she has shifted, I wanted to know if the issues between her mom and her will no longer be major issues because of that shift in her perspective. I was hoping that they would slowly fade into a nice friendship. And she confirmed with, And so I said, because you've changed your perspective, I wanted to know if there was also anything else that we could do right now that would help to shift it into a little bit quicker, if that was appropriate, or if there was anything that we needed to do to alter it at this moment in time, just to help with easing that transition into a nice friendship. She says, just have trust. Have trust and believe in yourself. Believe that you can be the confident, empowered person that you want to be, and that no one can take away her power. I wanted to get clarity on what if a situation happened in the future with her mom. So I said, what should she do immediately when she begins to feel disempowered by her mom in a future point in time? Like, how does she switch it immediately? Breathe. Connect to myself. Connect to my higher self. Connect to higher consciousness and the higher vibration in the situation. Those were her instructions. So I thought if she had something to focus on, that would be more helpful, or it would assist her to get to this beautiful visualization. So I asked if there was an image that she could focus on, and she says, just the heart and love. I asked if there was any more information that we needed to know about her mom right now. And she says, she loves you in a way that she knows how to love you, and that she also has her own journey around the way that she behaves towards you, and that's hers to figure out. She says, and I need to just not take that on, not take on all of the criticism, shaming, and just know that I am a good person regardless of how she chooses to speak to me or see me, that I am divine, and I don't need her to see that. I just have to believe in myself. This got me thinking about whether there were any genetics passed down to her, to my client. So I asked, were there any genetics passed down? And she says, yes, just this way of speaking that can be direct and harsh. And I asked if it would be appropriate to release that today. Yes, she said with excitement. And I asked, what is the best way to release it today? Should we use your sword, or is there another way? And she says, do you have any other suggestions? And at this point, I just paused and I allowed her to come up with her own way, because that is usually the best way to get you to release something. You already have the answers, just need help finding them. So I pause for a moment, just a couple seconds, not very long or anything like that. And she begins to speak again. Maybe something to do with white or rainbow light sprinkling, some kind of like being surrounded and encompassed in light. And I tell her, keep going, because she's getting it. She's receiving the information. I also tell her, keep in mind that it was on the genetic level. So let's make sure to go in and spread that rainbow, sparkly, sprinkling light into your genetic codes, transforming the genetic codes so that you no longer carry it forward to your daughters, and that it's released from you. And she says, And she says, okay, I'm envisioning a rainbow wall of kind of rainbow-like just going through me, my mom, all my kids, all my ancestors, just kind of like whoosh, going through everybody. And I remind her to include future generations as well. And she repeats it, future generations. Scanning, she says, scanning through everybody, past and future, clearing and cleansing and removing any bad energy. And I remind her to remove the negative way of speaking. She says, yep. And also, could we include the scarcity in this too? So I say to her, bring it. Let's bring it in. I said, there is no reason why we should limit what we bring in here to remove. And she says, she giggles, and we both are smiling again. And she says, scarcity. So she sees that rainbow light just swooshing and removing the scarcity as well. And I remind her to go back to sky from the alternate life. I said she was in a position where she didn't have a lot. And she says, disempowerment and playing small. I said, all of the lifetimes that you have ever lived and ever will live. See all the genetic codes transforming with that rainbow light, washing. And she says, now it's swirling all around. And I guide her by saying rebuilding, re-energizing, revitalizing, revitalizing, vibrating at higher and higher level each time it swirls around. And I can see it in my mind's eye as well, so I tell her that that's beautiful. And she starts tearing up now. And she says, and I'm seeing the ancestors. They are bowing down. I tell her that they are thanking her, that they have been waiting a long time for this to be released. It was so moving. And she says, and now we're all just in a circle and so connected. Thank you so much for listening. Make no mistake, these sessions are powerful. Turning ideas moves everything. I had a chance to check in with my client to see what has shifted since her session with me. I learned that she is going through a major transformation in her life. During this healing session, we revealed and released emotions and lessons that impacted her in a way that is difficult right now, but in time, she will see the true nature of why the struggles are happening at this time. She is currently going through some challenges that would be a struggle for anyone, me included. My heart goes out to her. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this time with everyone. Again, contact me through SongThatWomanOverThere so that I can help you heal as well. Turning ideas moves everything.